What happens when a doctor who has been giving life lessons to Cam Newton, to Nick Cannon, all of a sudden it blows up in her face and people want to see some receipts that she is a real doctor or not? That's what happened with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. We talk about on this edition of Viral. Welcome to Viral. I'm your host as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on Viral. We talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who has been a very good life coach and had the word doctor to her name. But a lot of people are speculating and trying to put two and two together, saying that she's not a real doctor, and they're trying to criticize her, saying why she hasn't gone to school for, why is she trying to give folks advice when she's not a licensed professional. We'll get to it in a minute, but first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Viral here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Here on Viral, we talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who is a gorgeous lady, I will say. She has spent the lights and took time to sit down with Cam Newton to talk about his issues with his relationships and his family, as well as Nick Cannon and his relationship with his family. But now the spotlight has turned on to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Dr. Bryant, a lot of people are speculating that she's not a real doctor, and it doesn't give her enough credibility for that to speak. Well, let's look at this video right here that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant did, a local affiliate, and the lady asked her straightforward answer. Why haven't you shown your proof that you are a doctor? Let's take a look at what Dr. Cheyenne Bryant had to say.
I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. My obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
But with the questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live, for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated myself, they deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I'll land on this. I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
attack. But I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it. Yeah, because I earned it. Absolutely.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant disputed those claims, saying that she knows she didn't go for school for it, but she still considers herself a doctor, made like a life coach. Well, a lot of people are speculating that sometimes she's doing that Dr. Phil model that, hey, you can give advice, but if you didn't go to school for it, how can you tell me what to do and you haven't done it? Well, that's the point exactly. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has been a force to be reckoned with all these podcasts, even on Shannon Sharp. Let's hear what she had to say on Shannon Sharp. Yeah, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant all over the place and all over giving our advice. Let's hear from our very own. Let's hear our very own viral insider, Mr. Bob Evans. Bob Evans, take it away.
Tonight on Viral, social media is buzzing over growing questions surrounding media personality Cheyenne Bryant and the credentials behind the title Doctor. Online critics are now demanding answers, raising concerns about whether Bryant's academic background fully supports the way she presents herself publicly. The controversy exploded after internet investigators began digging into her educational history, with some questioning whether her doctorate can be independently verified. Bryant has responded to criticism, saying her academic records are difficult to access due to her former university no longer operating, while also clarifying that she is not currently practicing as a licensed therapist. Still, that explanation hasn't slowed the backlash. Mental health professionals and social media commentators continue debating whether the branding creates confusion between professional life coaching and licensed clinical practice. Supporters say this is simply an unfair online pile-on, targeting a successful Black woman in media. Critics argue public figures using professional titles must provide full transparency. So what's the truth behind the title? Is this a misunderstanding that's spiraled out of control, or are there real questions still left unanswered? This story is still developing. Stay connected with Viral on Connect TV for the latest updates.
Thank you, Bob, for that informative insight. Bob Emmons, one of the best in the business. Bob Emmons ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. Bob Emmons let you know what it is. So Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has been a vocal critic on everybody, even on people's lives, and on celebrities that she has ran across, like Cam Newton and Nick Cannon. Well, let's see what you people have to say. You people have a lot to say. Is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant a real doctor? And what do you believe Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is trying to do? Clout chase or just trying to be famous? Let's see what you people have to say on what people say.
I was supposed to be in Aldi an hour ago, but my handsome black ass been sitting in this parking lot in my car reading and watching. This lady is trending, y'all. Cheyenne Bryant. How dare I call this lady a doctor? Well, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, the lady say she a doctor over and over and over again. Okay? She graduated in 2025. Where there you go right there from? Harvard Christian University. Okay, now. All right, Cheyenne, now. All right. According to the internet, Harvard Christian University is not accredited by any institution. The institution operates under educational sovereignty, including, I can't even say it, holding royal accreditation through the Kingdom of Hawaii Royal Accreditation Commission. This Afro-Latina is cracking me up, y'all. This lady is loving the attention. She is loving this fucking attention. And this picture, it took me to the heavens. Let me take my ass in the store.
And let's talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? All I'm going to say is that as long as it's always wrapped in a pretty bow, y'all fall for the grift every single time. Because if she was, let's say, I guess, an unattractive woman, she wouldn't have gotten this far with her grift. At all. At all. Y'all would have been dissecting what she was saying from day one. But because y'all like how she presents herself and how she looks, right? She's a very beautiful lady. Y'all fell for the grift. And she knew that. She knows that, right? Y'all are always blinded by the flesh. Stop it. Stop it. But yeah. And I mean, I can't even blame her. I can't blame her. Because it's a trick, as old as time that a lot of attractive women use. They literally scam y'all based on their looks. And y'all fall for it every single time. It's so many women that use this tactic. And they are narcissists. But yeah. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Child. And then also, it was just like, some of the stuff she's saying, it's just like, whose husband are you fucking? Right? Because it's like, she has this anger towards wives or women in very committed relationships. Like, she has this anger towards them. And it doesn't make any sense to me. She, loves the dysfunctional woman that thrives off of breaking up happy homes. Well, not happy homes, breaking up people's homes. I've noticed that about her. But yeah, anyways, I'm done.
I haven't seen nobody else say it, so I'm going to say it. There is something similar in this Dr. Cheyenne Bryant unlicensing conversation, in the way that she's handling that. in the Mary J. Blige interview about the crispy chicken commercial. Something about those two things are overlapping in my brain. Because why are y'all mad at us? Why are y'all mad at us with how we react to finding out information, or just like trying to understand what the fuck you got going on? You did a Burger King commercial and you mad at us. You are unlicensed. You can't produce your dissertation, and you feel like nobody should ask questions. It's like this common theme of nobody should be asking me about this. And like, I'm mad at you. Like, is that not manipulation? I don't want to say gaslighting, because I don't know if that's actually you trying to alter the reality and make us feel like we're crazy. But almost. Because how the hell you do a Burger King commercial and you mad at us? Because we took it and ran with it. How you mad at us for us finding out that nobody can find your doctorate information anywhere? Nobody can find a previous license, and you're mad at us for asking about it. Why are we getting attacked? In the words of 50 Cent, how am I in it? What did I do? I just woke up, asked the question, and now everybody's mad at me. Do we not have the ability to investigate the decisions that you make? You put the doctor in front of your name. You did the crispy chicken commercial. And now we just have to sweep it under the rug. Something about that's strange. And I don't know why that's consistent.
I cured Cam Newton live television. You can go and click it and watch it right now. My obedience goes directly to God, not people. Okay? So I actually don't have to answer any of your questions. I only have to answer to the Most High. And if you don't love the Lord, just say that. My sheep understand what's going on. I'm the wolf, right? You are simply a wolf in sheep's clothing, which means you want to be me. You want the doctorate that I have, but you can't get it. Why not provide the proof of your degree? Okay, well, a couple of reasons. For one, I have 15 different degrees. You want me to show you each one? I mean, I just think that's ridiculous. Everyone keeps asking for my credentials like I don't wear them on my neck for everybody to see. It's clear as day. There are several degrees. We can go Fahrenheit, Celsius, degrees of separation. It really just depends on what you're looking for out of this situation. I have plenty of degrees. I have baccalaureates. I have bachelorettes. I have many things that I possess as a form of education, and I just don't feel like it's my duty or my responsibility to show you all of those things. Because of me, Nick Cannon has 10 less children, and I did that for you all, free of charge, mind you, and that's not something I do. But if you want to see the additional sessions, they are on my Patreon for $10.99 a day. When admiration becomes envy, then we have to unpack, unwind, reverse it, and flip it and try again. See, everybody wants to be me because I'm light-skinned and beautiful, but nobody understands the pretty punishment that I'm actually, surviving right now. Look at what we're doing right here. I'm here to promote my book, How to Be a Player, and you're asking me about my credentials. You wouldn't do that to an ugly. You wouldn't do that to an ugly. So why not just drop doctor from your name? Because I want to be a doctor.
Just when y'all thought it couldn't get any worse, listen, that lady said her credential is between her and God. See, now I know she lying, okay? First of all, I know God is tired of y'all putting him in stuff he ain't got nothing to do with, okay? Now, I was questioning if that lady had her doctorate. Now I know for sure she ain't got it, y'all. Listen, I'm starting even to question if that lady got degrees or not. It's given that she got participation awards, okay? You can't convince me that that lady got nail lick of a degree, okay? Because when she said her credentials was between her and God, lady, go ahead, wrap this up by the end of the day, okay? Don't talk to us. Don't explain nothing to us. Y'all, when she said that she lost her transcripts because the school closed down, I didn't think she was going to come up with a new lie. Like, this is a grand lie. Do you know how much of an unhinged person you got to be to say that your credentials is between you and God? Lady, you the one who need the therapy, okay? Because it's not us. Listen.
This dragging of Miss Cheyenne Bryant, I'm not gonna call her a doctor. I've seen enough to know. But look, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of the stuff she was saying, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was real. I didn't really go to school to get a doctorate or nothing like that. I can only go off what people on here are saying. What I will say was like, we made my ears perk up was when she said, well, when the school closed down, they gave me the option of either give me my degree or give me all my money back. I took the money back. I've never heard that part right there. I'm like, okay, big fella, you'd gone too close to the sun, because now most people that have gone to college know I don't think you get that fucking option. Unless I'm tripping, please correct me. I did not Google that, but that just sounded crazy, because I feel like there'd be a lot more people that would say, take this funky ass degree and give me my funyuns back. I don't know. I don't know.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant that talks about if she's truly a doctor or not.
I want people like this to fail. I want money taken out of their pockets. I want food taken off of their plates. This is the type of nigga got my grandfather on Forex. Nigga, my grandfather was selling Fit Tea because of y'all niggas, man. And I'm not gonna never forget that shit. To hell with you.
You got
nigga was saying my nigga was selling flat tummy tea at the church.
In church, giving out vector knives.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? Y'all killed him. You killed my grandfather with your fucking pyramid schemes.
It's like she's so educated where, like, it was no need to take it this far. I've never heard somebody ask about Kevin Samuels.
Yo, I was just about to say, where the fuck did Kevin Samuels go to school? I don't remember.
We don't even know if he went to school.
He went to Brooks Brothers, bought some ties, and he was a doctor.
And watching my mother pursue 3 degrees is why I feel like Dr. Bryant is lying. Let me explain. So I was about 8 or 9 years old watching my mother pursue her bachelor's degree. I was about 12 or 13 when I went to her commencement ceremony after she got her master's degree. Matter of fact, I remember that she quit her job because she wanted to lock in and focus on getting her master's degree. Like, sis would get us from school, because we was in private school at the time. She would get us from school, do homework, cook dinner, make sure we was bathed, got the whole routine down. When we went to bed, she was locked in on the computer. I went to bed the next morning. She's still on the computer right before I go to school. That's how locked in my mother was. Like, I remember growing up through middle school and high school, watching my mother's grueling hours of sweat and mental equity that she put into her coursework. And then when I started getting my pursuit of my bachelor's degree, she started working on her doctorate. I remember the labor hours that she put in while working full time to pursue her doctorate degree. Matter of fact, she actually defended her dissertation at the start of the pandemic, and I was the first person she called after she defended it. Like, hours after she defended her dissertation, she called me and was like, I need to come to somebody's house because this is an emotional overload, and I just need a release because I just got finished defending my dissertation and I just got approved to be a doctor. I was like, come to the house right now. Come to the house. I remember hugging her and her releasing and crying and sobbing because the work and the mental, like, it was a lot on her to get this doctorate degree. And she has her work in the Library of Congress, okay? This shit is just not just up by osmosis. She has her work documented. I actually read parts of her dissertation because there was a specific page that she wanted me to look over after I had graduated with my bachelor's. I remember all of the thumb drives and all of the computers that she meticulously placed her work on, and the hard copies that she had in a documented, safe space, because she was afraid that she was going to lose her coursework. That's how serious she was about her dissertation, her master's, and her bachelor's degree. And she has all of them posted all over her house. Like, my mother fought tooth and nail with blood, sweat, and tears to get these degrees. So you couldn't say something as simple as, oh, well, the school is not accredited, and we can either give you the money back, but you won't have evidence. My mom would have been like, what the fuck do you mean? And she's a pastor and don't cuss. She would have been cussing for a situation like that, because ain't no way. She still has her transcripts from the 90s, the 80s, early 2000s. Like, I've seen the records and the read receipts. So going through all of that with my mother and having my own record when I got my bachelor's degree is why I think sis is not telling the truth. There's no way you just talking about something, only God can judge me and I know what I did. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Those that know, those that witness, those that have seen, we all know for a fact that we're full.
So Miss Bryant is going on a world tour, apparently, to keep confusing people. And what I find most interesting is that now she has gone directly to victim. I am the victim. There is this whole group of women who just
been waiting in the bushes, and they were on my side when I was telling men about themselves. But now, they're coming for me. Oh, but God, and I trust in God. What's interesting is that these women, this exact type of woman, you were out here telling men off, telling men about how they have a lack of accountability, telling men about how they're weak, how they have all these issues they need to deal with. All you had to do was, I don't know, provide proof that anything you're saying is true. But instead of doing the very simple thing, you decide, well, let me see if I can become the victim and they'll leave me alone. Babe, it's not going to happen. You've already given too much information. There are too many people out here who are highly qualified, and you are impersonating one of them with no credentials. Did you think this was going to go away? Because it's not. If anything, going on these podcasts, or I'm sorry, you call them sessions, is making it worse. You probably need to stop that. And then when being asked direct questions, the mind ninja gaslighting going on in here is crazy, coming from someone who pretends to be a therapist, life coach, doctor. I can't keep up. Whatever name we're going by. These sessions, quote unquote, should never have been about you telling men off. If they were true sessions, it would have been about the health and the well-being, the mental health, emotional health of those you were speaking with. This was an opportunity for you to entertain. And that's what you did. And it worked for the moment until credentials came up. And then, oh my God, now I'm a victim. This is what men deal with on a regular basis. Women just like this, who want to be Billy Bad, who never want to be told that they're wrong, who can't be accountable for anything, even when it's just the things that they say. This is what men deal with. And it's unfortunate. But fortunately, a lot of women are waking up.
Let me tell you porch monkeys something. You darkies, you jigaboos, you'll never understand, because as a psychology expert with licensure, but I don't have the licensure because you only need that to diagnose. And I went to the university, and then I was applying to be a professor at the law school as a PhD holder, my doctoral. Now, as I was getting my doctoral, I came back around. I didn't have the transcripts, but the dissertation. And then at that time I said, therapy. And see, what you don't understand is you don't have to have licensure as a therapist for diagnoses, because I'm a life coach. And as a psychology expert, what some people are never going to understand about me is when I came back to do that doctoral, and the doctoral of it all, the summation at the end of the day, jigaboos ain't going to never understand.
I'm not gonna hold you. If I'm being honest, the first thing in my mind was how fucking convenient. How convenient that people call your credentials into question, and then you tell the people you went to a university that's shut down. But then what really sealed the deal for me, Dr. Bryant, was that you started talking. First and foremost, the I don't give a F and using SHIT was very off-putting. It came off very defensive. It was not ladylike, and it damn sure did not speak in the tone by which we would expect from somebody who is supposed to be a doctor and professional and all of these things. That it was giving very much, let's take it to the street. Now, let's get into the more practical common sense thing. You came to us and told us you were Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Nobody knocked on your door and said, hey, we want you to tour the world. We want to build you up as this doctor character. Come do it. I do not think it is unreasonable for anybody to want proof of your credentials, especially when you put it out there that you're not working under licensure. It would seem to me that you would be rushing forward to reestablish public trust. Fine. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you can't get the transcript. You can't get them to confirm the degree. Sis, it ain't a black person alive who hard copy of their degree, not at their mama or their grandma house in the box. I don't care what you say. Going to college in the black community is a big MFing deal. Where is your degree? Call around your grandma house, call around your mama house. Okay, sis, you ain't got the degree. I understand that Odyssey is an online university, but I'm not about to argue with no bitch that claim they got no degree from Argosy, and you can't produce us no cap and gown pictures. I understand that it was an online institution, but baby, I wouldn't give a damn if your ass was on an oil rig in the middle of Alaska. There is not a black person alive who is going to accomplish PhD level work and not walk their black ass across that damn stage. Where's your cap and gown pictures? That is something that you could use to put this shit to rest right now. Where is your hard copy of your degree? Where is your cap and gown pictures? Thirdly, sis, where is your dissertation? Matter of fact, why you didn't just rattle off out loud what you wrote your dissertation in? You got to have that bitch somewhere. It's got to be on a floppy disk. It's got to be on a hard drive. It's got to be on a thumbnail. Where are the drafts of the dissertation? Like, Cheyenne, you can't take this cavalier attitude like we're just on this witch hunt. Where are your cords? Facebook came out when we were in undergrad. Like, sis, where your cap and gown pictures at? At a minimum. Where were you licensed at once before, sis? The people can't even find that. And saying I'm no longer working under a license does not invalidate that there should be proof of the original licensure. You got to give us something, girl. Until you pop up with a copy of a diploma, a cap and gown picture, a license number, a cover page of a dissertation, somewhere where you've been published something, then you are leaving people with no other choice but to believe that you are a fraud.
What's really sad about the Cheyenne Bryant situation is that nobody is realizing the culture that social media has set up. It's a culture where people feel they have to become more than who they really are in order to feel worthy of being heard. It's that pressure to look more successful than you are, more spiritual, more healed, more rich, more educated, and more desired than you might actually be. She's attractive, she's intelligent, she's well-spoken, she's charismatic. She already had the tools in her bag, the ability to get in those rooms off of presence alone. God already gave her enough to build something real, but some of us are so busy trying to become impressive that you're abandoning the version of yourself that God actually anointed. Cheyenne Bryant is what it looks like when pressure from social media convinces you that who God called you to be and who God made you to be is not enough. And that's how people trick themselves out of their own spot, their own blessings, their own hard work, and the position they probably prayed for in the first place. I know people are on this weird hype train to kick her while she's down and talk about her and knock her, but let's actually try to learn something from this rather than just bash her 24/7.
No longer practice under a license. License is really only needed so you can bill insurance. I created my own lane. And so I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees.
Hey, cool kids, hashtag vulnerable post, okay? I want to talk about this Dr. Bryant conversation from a different perspective that I haven't seen yet. I'm going to say some stuff that I rarely, if ever, talk about online. When it comes to conversations like that, we don't often hear from the people whose lives can be different based on whether or not they are getting care from a qualified, ethical professional. Hi, I'm one of those people. The short list is generalized anxiety disorder, severe ADHD, and PMDD. I've been in all kinds of treatments and coaching for those things for about 10 years now. And you should consider yourself lucky if you don't understand why the conversation around Cheyenne Bryant is so serious. She might not have a license, but she helps people, and you don't need a doctorate. And as Black people, we carve our own lanes. We make our own way. Life coach versus therapist versus psychologist. Respectfully, you don't live the kind of life where the difference matters. I do. And if we're really serious about mental health in the community, then we need to understand that mental health is so much more than just helping people be successful. That's why I was a different kind of happy to see Dr. Raquel Martin and Kier Gaines and many other licensed people chiming in on the conversation. ADHD doesn't care if I get married or not. It doesn't care if I'm submissive or not. It doesn't care if I'm feminine or not. My ADHD doesn't care if I make money or not. My ADHD does not care about my willpower or my hustle or whether I want it bad enough. I could go my whole life and never experience a gaslighter, a narcissist, a trauma bond, or radical acceptance, and I would still need the best stimulants money can buy to remember to eat and take a shower. And every professional that has helped me in the last decade knows that, because they have the training, the licenses, the commitment to ethics and standards to give me evidence-based help and treatment while keeping all of that in mind. But let the psychology experts and the podcast tell it. My ADHD treatment might be like this. You know what? Actually, let's go deeper, because I think that there also might be some trauma responses operating there, because some of that is ADHD, but some of that is also an imbalance of energy. Guess what? That anxiety is also coming from a place where you are afraid to be in your feminine energy. And that man understands that. He knows that. And so his masculine energy is becoming something Because how much of that is ADHD and how much of it is apathy? In 10 years, I've never had treatment like that. Yeah, I thought I'd just add this part to the conversation because if you're not in it, you don't know. For people like me, the difference matters. Because part of taking therapy seriously and mental health seriously is knowing that sometimes you need help, but other times you need treatment. And everybody can't do both.
Here's the larger impact of Cheyenne Bryant's foolery. Do you know how difficult it has been for the field itself to advance to such a place that mental health treatment gets to be integrated into schools, into hospitals, into medical care, to have insurance be able to cover services that people actually need and medications that allow people to function and live normal lives while abnormal things are happening inside their brain? Do you know how difficult it is to convince a person who is in the middle or on the verge of a crisis that therapy actually works and you're there and they can trust you, that they'll be better because of it? And that the field isn't full of quacks and people who just looking for a check, people that we actually care about people being well. And then you come out the woodworks and go from video vixen to walking, talking confirmation bias. The amount of people who will look at that and say, see, that's why I never got treatment. That's why I'm not getting treatment. That's why I'm not going back to get treatment. And then they continue to bleed all over themselves and everything and everybody in their lives. It's people like that that make the rules and regulations more difficult, more challenging. The red tape gets redder. The barriers get harder to maneuver through. It's that much more challenging for people to come into broken systems and integrate mental health treatment in a way that actually affects people in a positive way. And then here go this walking, talking confirmation bias. So yeah, yes, you hurt your patients. Yes, you lied to your followers, but deeper than that, it's the field that we put our blood, sweat, and tears into to help people understand so that they can see the value in it, in their lives, in their children's lives, in their parents' lives. And then here you go with nonsense.
The reason Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was able to get away with being a fake doctor for so long was because she was going on a world tour, going on podcasts where no one was actually asking her any questions about her doctorate. When they would ask her about her doctorate, she would hit them saying things like, I have 3 doctorates.
I ran into 6 degrees, 3 doctorates, a master's degree,
making such bold claims that I think most people, for one, didn't really care because these were like entertainment, like Club Shay Shay and Breakfast Club podcasts. You can act like you know a lot of really smart stuff when you're talking to people who have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. But she did until she went on one podcast where they're like, hey, you're a doctorate, right? And she's like, yeah, I have multiple doctorates. And they're like, we can't find a single one of your dissertations. Second, you start to ask a con artist to actually back up any of the things they're claiming, they will have an excuse, and she did. Nothing about the dissertation, what that dissertation was about, but the fact that she went to not a university but an institute, it got shut down after she graduated with all of her doctorate's degrees. She tried to get that transcript and realized that that was no longer a possibility, that being her excuse. But the fact that people are still believing her, not understanding what a single dissertation is. Dissertation is something every doctorate student has to do before they get their doctorate. You have to do a dissertation on a topic not really of your choosing, where you bring topic options to the board of your doctorate program. They have to approve the topic you're going to do your dissertation on. Then you research, break this down, and you write up a dissertation about that topic that is so lengthy, most people turn them into books. That's right, a well done dissertation by someone who is now a doctor, you can normally look it up at least online or buy their entire dissertation as a book to enjoy yourself. None of which you can do because she doesn't have a single dissertation. But if she has 3 doctorates, she should have 3 separate dissertations. That's not even the craziest part, because even if everything she's saying about the institute where she graduated being shut down and now she can't get her transcript because there was issues with that too, she should still have an entire classroom full of people she went through that doctorate program with who can back up her statements. Because after doing your dissertation, you then have to go in front of your entire graduating class and all of your professors and discuss your entire dissertation with them. This woman was a real doctor, much less has 3 doctorates. She should have at least 3 classes of other fellow doctors now, and all of her professors from all of those programs who can back up anything she's saying, but is still going on podcasts acting as if she is a doctor and has multiple doctorates. If we were gonna list all of the fake doctors in believability, it would be Dr. Seuss, Dr. Dre, Dr. Pepper, and at the very bottom of that list, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Let's be very clear. Cheyenne Bryant was only able to get this far on her grift because of the way she looks. And anybody who disagrees is just simply lying to themselves. There's a reason why she is so popular in certain spaces when you really think about it. These platforms like, Club Shay Shay, the Joe Budden podcast, in my eyes, those are a very specific flavor of black male thought and conversation. In my eyes, those are red pill adjacent. That's definitely a pipeline to the alt-right conservative red pill incel ideology. And men like Cam Newton and Joe Budden only know how to talk nicely to women that they are physically attracted to. Honestly, this Cheyenne Bryant reminds me of Casey Oliveira. Do you guys remember the whole Chanel, what was her name? Chanel something, Sprinkle of Jesus? Too oftentimes in the black community, people are overly trusting of the light-skinned, biracial, racially ambiguous woman who is really saying nothing but hot air and sprinkles and buzzwords because of the way she looks. It's really insane, actually. And the fact that some of y'all are still referring to her as Dr. Cheyenne is telling us everything we need to know. People who have gotten their doctorate cannot wait to tell you about their thesis. They can't wait to tell you about their dissertation because they put a lot of work into it. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point. They can't wait to rattle off how they got their degree and what they learned and what they added to their field. There's no excuse for her not being able to produce a document. There's no excuse for you not being able to find her thesis. All this is lies. It's all smoke and mirrors. And as a collective, I really want us to start gatekeeping academia and holding it in a higher regard than we are right now. Because it really shouldn't be as easy as calling yourself a doctor.
Hello, Jessica Linguini here, coming at you live from the bathroom of my high-rise office at the top of New York City. I'm here today to vouch for my lovely friend and colleague, Cheyenne, the doctor therapist. As the social experiment conductor of Romeo Show, aka Romeo Bingham, as some of you may know, I would like to say I have also received many critiques and questions of my claim, considering I have a master's in computer science, a bachelor's in marketing, and an associate's degree, minor, in theater in the performing arts. Some of it is questioned. Some people say they can't find me online, but that doesn't make me any less of an academic. So to those who are naysayers, I will say that I actually studied with Cheyenne at Oxford. We were there for a summer intern, where I graduated from to create this as my dissertation. Romeo Show was actually my dissertation, and I will vouch for Cheyenne that she actually gave me therapy coming into it, because they knew that the role that I would take on would literally take over my mind. As I become this character, Romeo. So, thank you, Cheyenne, for your work. You've done wonders. And leave Cheyenne alone.
Did you go to school? I've attended many colleges. One of them that I attended was Death Row University. Dr. Dre is one of my most prestigious professors. That is what DR stands for. I never said that DR stood for doctor. Another title that I have that DR stands for is
The reason. I'm the reason why Cam Newton exclusified all of his exclusions. And I'm also the reason why a close friend of mine was cured of a problem that she was having. She called me and told me that she was itching down in her pubital area. And I told her, scratch it. And she scratched it. DR stands for my book. I'm a DR, the realest bitch.
why not Provide proof. Like my professor, Dr. Cliff Huxtable, stated, the proof is in the pudding. In the Bible, God says, I degree. Decree, not degree. No. It's degree. If God is the degree, and I have God, and God is inside of me, I am the degree. YMCA should I feel the need to procrastinate and masturbate these things to you guys? I don't know. Why won't you drop doctor your name? I'm going to be asking you, why don't you drop these charges that you're going to be pinning against me once I get up and resuscitate the incarceration? I'm going to just chill for the rest of the show.
You people didn't hold back. Some of you people did try to question the validity of Dr. Sinead Bryant's doctrine and trying to see if Dr. Sinead Bryant is who she says she is. I mean, if she is not a doctor, then that's something she got to deal with. But she give out good sound advice. But, you know, if, like they say, if you're a doctor, you're a doctor. If you're not, you're not. Don't act like unless you got the degree. So that's the key is at least she admits she's a life coach. So, I mean, what can you say? More. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of Viral. I'll be your host, Kendra Dix, saying so long. Thanks for watching Viral. What happens when a doctor claims that she's been giving advice to Cam Newton and Nick Cannon about relationships and love and their situationships? Well, that's what happened with Dr. Sinead Bryant. She has been called out about her not being a doctor. And a lot of people want to question if Dr. Sinead Bryant is fact or fiction. We get to the latest on the next edition of Viral.